Hello everyone! Greetings from Kharkov, Ukraine. My name is Svetlana Mucha and I'm the leading matchmaker and dating coach at Diolli.com. I have just filmed a video for you about the success rate at Diolli.com, and it took us 35 minutes to film that, so being a YouTuber is not easy. And don't forget that I'm a matchmaker who runs a YouTube blog, not vice versa. So I'm not a YouTuber who has decided to become a matchmaker. So I'm a matchmaker who is sharing my professional experience and some of our stories with you to make sure that gentlemen who choose international dating choose it for all the right reasons. I believe that international dating lovers are truly unique, very romantic, very open-minded, truly cosmopolitan, and very interesting people. In this video, we will continue talking about success rate. Actually, I have called this video "Why Some Gentlemen Fail," but at the very beginning, I will give you some tips how to make sure that you're not going to become one of these crazy, sad stories of failures. I have called this video "Why Some Gentlemen Fail," but at the very beginning I will start with some dating tips to make sure that you won't be the hero of the failure story. So, the recipe how not to fail. First of all, you have to have the right attitude. Building a relationship and meeting someone special should be a priority. You should be ready to invest time, energy, your heart and money into this process. Second, be sincere and honest with your potential matchmaker. Don't sugarcoat. And the third tip is to be very careful when you are choosing a professional matchmaker. Google whom you choose and also try to find a professional with whom you are on the same page about love, relationship. Choose someone you can trust. Another important tip: trust your matchmaker and follow the matchmaking process. Do not neglect the tips that the matchmaker is providing you with. If you do not trust your matchmaker, if you neglect the matchmaking process, you won't get the results you want. You will get similar results you were getting on your own. Let your matchmaker help you build healthy, realistic expectations. We will talk about it more in the examples. Learn as much as you can from your matchmaker, all the dating tips and advice, especially if you are talking about international dating. Guys, you will need it. It's not just about meeting the girls, it's not just about the dates, it's more about coaching and the whole process. Dates are just cherry on top. Go out on dates with the right attitude. The right attitude is to be truly open-minded, to be optimistic about the date, and to have this attitude that you're going to meet someone new, you will have a great time together, you will learn more about this person, and you will let this new person get to know you better. Your destiny is not decided on the first date, and it is okay that not all women will like you back. Well, after all, you're not going to build an army of lovers or admirers, you're just looking for the one person who will love you the way you are, who will appreciate you for all your strengths. Use dating tips and advice. I don't know how many times I have to repeat myself, but guys who use all dating tips and advice that we provide them with, who implement them into their dating life, they change their dating life drastically and they succeed. Try to get to know your date. Don't try to judge based on the first impression. Usually it takes 2 or 3 dates to understand if this acquaintance can have long-term potential, can lead to a relationship. First date is not the indicator if you are for each other. First date is a stressful experience and it has a lot to do with the looks and very little to do with your personalities. So on the second date, you will try to get to know each other better, to actually ask the questions. You will be less stressed. So second dates are so much better in most cases than the first dates. So don't rob yourself from the second dates. Go out on second dates and give yourself a chance to get to know a lady in front of you. And the last tip before we jump into stories: be open-minded and respectful. I have promised some stories with some dating tips for you, and I will share 2. I will share with you stories about gentlemen who want to outsmart the system. Within 13 years of being in this business, I can think of 2 gentlemen, 2 very bright examples when the gentleman tried to play some hidden games to outsmart the matchmaker, their dates, and to prove the world that they know it all so much better. So I had this interview with this gentleman, and he said that he wanted to date someone who is 25, 30 years younger, and he wants her to be very attractive, and he wants her to be not materialistic, etc., etc. Since he is not very rich, he is okay financially, but he is not a multimillionaire or a millionaire by no means, but he wants to date a much younger lady. We are always very honest, and we are always very straightforward with all our potential clients. So I have told this gentleman that we won't be able to take him over as a client because an age gap of 25 to 30 years is not something we can do. We simply won't have enough good ladies in our database who would be open to such a big age gap. And also, it is important to keep in mind that it is not just about the age difference. There will be other criteria, because the gentleman will be willing to date ladies with certain body type, or certain height, with certain level of education, probably with some level of English. So there are always different criteria. It's not just about the age. So I have told him that I don't think I will have a lady in my database who would be okay to date a gentleman who is 25 or 30 years older than she is, who has grandkids, and to be willing to give him babies. We had a long discussion with the gentleman about it, and after this discussion he said that, you know, Svetlana, probably you are right. Maybe I don't need to have more kids since I'm 63 already and I have grandchildren, because I'm old-fashioned, and I was thinking that a family is not a family if I don't have children. And the gentleman was telling me that he plans to travel, he plans to live in different countries, try new things, and it didn't match up with his desire to have kids, because it's hard to travel and to change locations when you have a baby. So he said that he agrees, and he's okay to meet a lady in her middle 40s, which means someone who is like 15 years younger than he is. We have started the interviews with the ladies, and like I have mentioned in the previous video, it took us about 25-30 interviewers to pre-select one lady, because maybe you will be surprised, but not every lady in her middle 40s is okay to date a gentleman who is 63. So the majority of ladies in their 40s, they want to date someone in their 40s, or someone in their 50s, like early 50s, but not someone who is like 15, 17 years older. So it took us a while to pre-select those ladies who match his criteria, who found him attractive by his photo, and who were okay to meet a gentleman who is so much older. We have approved these 5 matches, and this gentleman, this 63 years old gentleman, has traveled to Ukraine to meet the ladies. So the gentleman is meeting the first lady, and she actually likes him during the date because he was witty, he was charming, he was sharing interesting stories, and because it took us so many interviews to find that girl. But the gentleman is reluctant to ask her out on a second date. Then we introduce him to a second lady that was pre-selected for him and whom he has approved beforehand. And same scenario. The date goes well, the lady wants to go out with him on a second date, but the gentleman feels reluctant. On the third date, he already is not present. Like the lady gives us the feedback that he sits there, but he's not asking her questions, and we saw that maybe he was tired, so we have decided to take a break in introducing him to ladies. We have met with him and we have asked him what is wrong. Like 2 ladies during 2 first dates, you really tried to be charming. On the third date, you do not try anymore, maybe you are tired, what is wrong? At first the gentleman was telling that, okay, I'm just tired, nothing is wrong, but we were asking him questions, and he said that, you know what, I will confess, I feel so disappointed. This is when I had to ask him a question, but why do you feel disappointed? And he said that, you know what, I really have agreed to meet ladies in their 40s to please you. And I thought that the moment I will land in Ukraine and you will see how useful and handsome I look, you would reconsider introducing me to older women, and you will start introducing me to ladies in their 30s and 20s. I was speechless. Not only he has completely disrespected all the hard work that we did for him, like all the interviews with all those ladies to preselect 5 ladies. And of course, now I would have to deal with those 5 angry ladies who got ready for the dates. And he told us that he was not interested in meeting any of them anymore because they were old. And in his opinion, we should reconsider and introduce him to someone who looks more like our psychologist or like our executive director Katerina, or maybe like myself. And at that moment I was 29, Alessia was 28, and Katerina was 30 years old, and he was 63. The oldest of the ladies we have introduced him to was 48 years old, which means she was 15 years younger than he was. And the youngest, she was 44, which means she was 19 years younger. And he thought that they were old women. Well, actually, he has signed the contract. We had all the criteria there, and we have never promised him to introduce him to ladies in their late 20s and early 30s. He has assumed that he will travel over and will put the whole process of conducting the interviews into 2 days, and we did the process within 8 weeks. Because he thought we will find him more handsome in person than by Skype. I have no idea why he has decided to meet those women, what he has expected. Actually, after he has realized that we are not going to introduce him to ladies in their 20s and 30s, that we are not going to do the whole round of interviews again, but this time for much younger women, he has asked for the refund. But we have an official contract that we sign with every client to know what to expect from each other, to make sure our expectations are on the same level, so that the client knows which service he is buying. After we said no to a gentleman that we can't give him the refund after we did all this work for him, he tried to tell us that we just tried to cover from a challenge, and he wants us to accept this challenge and to introduce him to a beautiful lady in her late 20s, early 30s. And if we were truly professionals, well, we would do it for him. Well, since we are professionals, we are not playing some dirty games, so we said no. He has tried to flatter us later on, telling that only we can do it. There is no other company that can introduce him to a beautiful lady who is 35 years younger than he is. We also said no. 2 years after that story, he has contacted us again, and he has asked if now we can schedule the dates for him, since he was not happy with our service the last time. If now we could introduce him to ladies in their late 20s and early 30s. We said no. As you can understand, this gentleman did not end up getting married with our help. Can you really blame us for this? Or another gentleman with whom we also had a pleasure of working. Again, he was watching our YouTube channel for a few years. He has contacted us, and he has said many nice words about our channel and our work, and he said that he wants to hire us, and he knows all the information about us. Of course, we felt flattered. It is always pleasant to hear nice words, and we truly invest not only lots of time but also our hearts into matchmaking process and also into our YouTube blog. So it is very important for us to hear that people like what we do. And we have started the process for this gentleman. We have discussed the criteria, we had all the interviews, we have pre-selected the ladies for him, again, all these interviews, and he has approved the candidates. He has traveled over to Ukraine, he has met first 2 ladies, and he has written me a very angry email telling that he is very disappointed. I have asked him why he was disappointed, because we got the feedback from the ladies that the dates went well, and he has asked the ladies out on second dates, and the ladies speaks English, and all the ladies he was meeting have spoken really good English, so there was no interpreter there, and the gentleman said that he can share this information only in person. Okay, there is no question. you can come to our office and we can discuss it. He came to our office, he was making jokes, he was sharing some stories, no dates related, and we have been talking for almost 2 hours and I still couldn't understand what went wrong. Okay, I thought maybe he just had a bad day and he was overstressed, maybe jet lag, new country, so maybe these angry emails, he just had, I don't know, a glass of wine and he has written them. So he went on more dates with more ladies, and with the ladies he has already met, and again angry emails and angry messages that I have to meet you and the team. Again we are meeting, and again he is sharing lots of stories. He is telling us compliments. Stories are not dates related, about his life, about himself. So I really can't understand why these emails and then the stories. So I'm asking him, like, can we discuss the issue? Because you are sending us emails telling that you did not like the process, that you feel disappointed, but at the same time I know that you are meeting the ladies we have introduced you to, and we get different feedback from the ladies that everything is well. And the gentleman tells us that, you know what, dates are not that important. I thought that I will become friends with you and your team, and we will hang out, we will have tea, maybe you will invite me over for the interviews for other clients, and I will help you pre-select ladies for them. Actually, it took me a moment to understand what he wanted. As you know, English is not my mother tongue, and I thought that maybe I got him wrong. And he said that, you know what, I want to be part of Diolli. I want to hang out in your office. I want to interview the ladies. I have so many ideas how you should change your business. I will end this story here. As you can understand, working with people can be tricky. Of course, we are lucky because I would say that 98% of our clients, they are very smart, very intelligent, very polite people, and it is a pleasure to work with them. But every now and then we get these exceptional people who approach us. Very seldom these exceptional people become our clients, but over 13 years I can think of a few stories to share with you. So no, we don't have 100% success rate. That's impossible because huge responsibility for the results is on the shoulder of our client. So no, we don't have a 100% success rate because our clients, they are also responsible for their results, and we can't be there on the dates with them to make sure they are doing the right things. And also we can't predict, as I have shared with you in these stories, true intentions of people who hire us. Still, even in such scenarios, we try to do our best and to work in the best interest of every male client. Guys, I hope it was useful to you, and I hope I haven't bored you to death with these dating stories. Thank you so much for watching our channel. For almost 7 years, I'm filming videos for you, and I'm really happy to have you as my audience. I truly believe that international dating lovers are unique, romantic, open-minded, sophisticated people, and I'm happy to be a part of this community. I want to wish everybody love. Svetlana Mukha for Diolli.com.